Okay then, so what is Christian unity, or rather, what should it be? How can we show the rest of the world, the rest of our community here in Hythe and Saltwood, that our churches are united in our mission? Well, the answer could be made very simple, couldn't it? How can we show that we're united? The answer could be very simple, couldn't it? Let's just be the same as each other. How about that? Let's put aside our differences. Bear with me. Let's just concentrate on trying to be all-embracing. And each denomination should restrain, perhaps, from doing anything that another denomination might be uneasy with. The ideal, maybe, is to have a universal church that is so united that it is, in effect, one denomination. So, to implement this proposed ideal of us all coming together as one denomination in the name of unity, I've come up with a few ideas. Firstly, we're going to have to lose the uniform. If we're all going to be one, and to be seen as being one, the distinctiveness of the Salvation Army is going to have to go. Secondly, I think maybe the community church is going to have to send some of its members to other churches. We can't possibly hope to send out this message of unity if it's obvious that one church has more members than another. That smacks of favouritism and I guess the Salvation Army will have to start administering communion again. I suppose that the Methodist Church will have to start learning brass instruments. Sorry, but the gospel choir may have to go, in case it might ruffle too many feathers. But that will be a start, anyway. We must be seen as being one, united, without differences. That way, all the churches will be doing the same thing, in the same way. Other ministers will know exactly what I'm doing, how busy I am. We'll know exactly what each other does. We'll all be doing the same thing. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? But why not take it a step further? I've come this far. Let's really show Hythe and Saltwood how united we are. We could have just one big church building instead of all of our individual ones, and have all our meetings in there together. Our Christmas carol services, harvest celebrations, Easter services, they'll be all the same, and all year round we'll be united too. We'd have to work out the style of worship we'd use, but it would be the same. A united effort. We'd have no differences. We'd have all things in common. We'd be the same. Unity at last. I wonder what your view, what your dream, or your ideal of Christian unity consists of. Maybe you wouldn't go quite as far as I promised, but you'd go most of the way. Nothing wrong with that. We're each entitled to our own preferences. But then that's the paradox, isn't it? A unity such as that which I've just described just doesn't allow for preferences. There'd be no choice, no individuality, no freedom of expression for our worship. Because the truth is that unity and uniformity are two very different things. At the moment, if someone didn't feel comfortable worshipping at Salvation Army simply because of our style, and wanted to try worshipping at the Church of England, for example, then I'd be sorry to see them go. But I'd rejoice in the fact that the church is diverse enough to offer an alternative. I hope the same would be true the other way around. If unity meant all churches being the same, then my guess is that many people would stop going to church completely simply because there isn't a style that suits them. But here's the good news. Unity does not mean uniformity. Now I'm sure I'm not saying anything here that you haven't already thought of for yourselves. But what I'm getting around to is the question of asking, why are we here today? As we conclude this week of prayer for Christian unity, what exactly are we asking God for? Do we know? In our prayer, should we be asking at all? Or should we instead be thanking God for the unity which we already have? Let me tell you this joke, which illustrates the point quite nicely. A Christian minister was having a stroll through the woods one day when he failed to see the roots of a large tree and he tripped over them. Glad that no one saw him, he gradually got up, only to find that there's right in front of him the most ferocious of grizzly bears stood on its hind legs with fierce eyes and drool dripping from its tongue. As the minister was on his knees, he decided decided, in any case, that he might as well pray about it. Oh Lord, please turn this bear into a Christian. Ridiculous as it sounds, the bear stopped growling. It too got to its knees, put its paws together and said, "But what I'm about to achieve, may the Lord make it true." God doesn't always answer our prayers in the way that we might expect. Our version of Christian unity may not be what God's version is. And if we pray for Christian unity, then God might just give us a shock and answer that prayer in a way that we don't expect.